another thing I also want to show you is that sometimes you find yourself, working with a lot of data in Excel. And, I want you to pay attention to my shortcuts. So that is why I am allowing you to see, what I'm pressing on my keyboard combination. So because these shortcuts are the things that if you actually become very familiar with them, it will help you a lot. It will help you a lot. Save unnecessary time using your mouse and your keyboard. So very quickly, now look at what we are doing here. So what if I just want to jump to my last row? I want to jump to my last row. Let me even ask you a question. Let me go back to my former spreadsheet. Let's see if you actually know about Excel. Let me see. I want to see if you are going to get it. So how many rows are in Excel? Someone is saying infinity, and the reason why the person said infinity is because for you to scroll down, it will take like forever to scroll down to the last cell. Forever it will take to scroll down. Actually, you don't need to do that. So there's a shortcut. Someone is saying infinity. Well, I am glad to announce to you that you are all wrong. The one that said 999, the one that said infinity, you all got it wrong. You all got it. Or before I even tell you the answer, like how many columns you think are really on Excel? How many columns do you think are on? Let me see if you have. Or okay, you know what? Don't tell me the exact number. Take a rough guess, like about how many columns do you think are on Excel? They are actually not 26 columns in Excel, and they are not 999, or rows in Excel. So whenever you want to jump in Excel, like let's say I'm on my first row, and I just want to jump to the last row immediately. The shortcut for that is Control down arrow. Now listen to me again. I want to jump from my first row immediately to my last row without scrolling. The shortcut for that is just Control down arrow easily. And so the answer is that there are 1,048,576 rows in Excel. So let me show you that. So you can see here, so there are actually 1 million, 1,048,000 and 576 rows in Excel. And how many columns are there in Excel? So the same thing applies. So let me go back. So if you want to jump back to the top, the same thing, just in the opposite direction. Now let's say I want to jump back to the first row. I've come to the last one. I can't start scrolling. Or there are some people that even use all these things. You don't need to waste your time doing all this. It's actually a waste of time. So what you can just do is just to go Control down to go to the top to the last. And if it is in another scenario, what you need to do is just to jump. Well, what is actually doing is that it is jumping to the last non-empty row. I will explain what that means. So Control Up, I've jumped to the first non-empty row within that range. All right. So, and that is it. So, and then the same thing applies if I want to see what is actually like the last column on Excel. All I just need to do is just to use like Control Right, and that's it. So they are whatever that number means, XFD. So XFD is the last row in Excel. So that's a lot. So I think that's about maybe 16,000 or whatever. I mean, there are way more than 10,000 columns in Excel. But let me just give you an advice. Once your Excel is getting more than 10,000 columns, I say 10,000, like 10,000 rows, or maybe 100,000, that range, you are going to be having a very, very slow software. So you need to be able to balance. So if you don't need to store everything inside one workbook, maybe you need to use multiple workbooks, it will help depending on how powerful your computer is. So please take note of that. So Control Right to see the right. So Control Right to see the right. Control Left to go back. Down, Control Down, Control Right, whatever. So that is one aspect. Now, another aspect is, what if I want to start selecting? Now, let me go to general data. If I want to see the last row, I told you about jumping from one place to another. So if I use that same control down here, it will just jump to the last row. So here, my data is telling me that I have 4,411 rows because it is jumping down to the last. For those that cannot see it, let me just put it here for you. You can see 4,411 rows. So it is just jumped down to the last non-empty row before the next space. It is just going to jump to it. And so you can see it is jumping to the right, jumping to wherever I want it to be easily. To jump there, to jump there, to jump here, wherever you want it to be. Now, that is one aspect where you can increase your speed. Another thing is that there are sometimes when you want to like select on Excel, and what you do normally is that you use your mouse to select. I mean, this is what many of you do. You go like this, go like this, go like this. In fact, let me just tell you a sign that you are not using Excel the right way. If you find yourself using your mouse most of the time on Excel, can I tell you the truth? You probably are wasting some amount of time, on Excel when you could have actually been faster if you find yourself using your mouse most of the time. So what you actually are supposed to do in this situation is that you just go ahead and very easily you can start scrolling, you know. So you use your shift. So now I talked about jumping using control. Now, if you want to actually highlight, what you use is your shift. So let us say I want to highlight age, attrition, business travel department. So I'm holding my shift right now. As you can see on my screen, I'm holding my shift. So once I'm holding my shift, then I'll just start moving in the direction using my arrows to wherever I want to. You can see I'm moving right, down, 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 left, right, whatever way I'm moving, whatever way I'm moving, whatever way I'm doing it, and then it will be selecting it. And that is one very, very easy way to select precisely because there are sometimes maybe your mouse is not very good and then it will have selected another thing before you click the mouse again, the thing has gone away and then you are just battling with it. Please let today be the last time you do that. You can use your sheet. Another thing that you should also take note of is that you can actually now select like maybe a lot of things at the same time by using now, if you now combine that control with that shift and with that direction, you can now select so many things at the same time. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I press Control Shift right, I can select everything in that direction, down, select everything. So within like 1 second, I can select everything I want to select. Or maybe say I want to select from here, I can just select and just do whatever I want easily. You can just select it. Or maybe you want to select everything in a row, you can use this, you can use this. You can just click on the row number to select everything in that row. Or you can click on the column number, you can select everything in that column. And then another shortcut is, you can just use maybe control space, you know, you can use control space. Let me just see. I hope it's going to show that. Control space will select everything in that column. So let us say I want to select everything in column E, everything in column E, and I want to just delete it. All I just need to do is just to use control space to select it. Or if I want to select everything along that row, shift space, and then to select it. So these are some of the shortcuts that you might just, start trying out and see how it can improve your workflow very, very quickly.